Alright, well this here is the Last Roundup, the episode about how Applejack goes to compete in the big nationwide rodeo, because of course that's a thing. But yeah, and I'm not actually sure from what they said, it's either I'm pretty sure it's that she's the 10-time rodeo champion of Ponyville, and now she wants to become the rodeo champion of all of Equestria, but it was either that, or she already is the 10-time rodeo champion of Equestria, and she's going for 11, but either way, the town builds her up. Apparently, there's prize money with this first place ribbons. Oh no, there's prize money with every first place ribbon, and the town hall needs a new roof. So Applejack has vowed to donate her prize money to fix the roof. So she vows to win a ton of blue ribbons to win for the town, and they all build her up for it. So of course, that's exactly how it's going to happen. She's going to win every ribbon, get the prize money, and you can all just go home before it's over. But no, stop being snarky like that. But okay, so yeah, she goes to compete, and then of course, it doesn't go right. She sends a message home telling them that yeah, she's not coming home. She'll send the prize money, but she's just not coming home. So her friends go and track her down, and she doesn't want to tell them why she's not coming back when they find her. You know, she's taking a new job, and they try to get her to tell them something about why she's not coming home. She just walls herself the whole time until finally it all escalates to a big chase scene through wherever they are, some country town, desert town, whatever. But yeah, big chase scene. They catch her. They knock over her bag full of ribbons. It reveals that she won everything from 4th to 2nd, but no first place ribbons. So yeah, she tells them that's why she can't come home. She's ashamed. She doesn't have any prize money. But they encourage her, tell her they want her back, and they get her to come home. Okay, so basically, I think this episode is without doubt some of the best build-up for a mediocre payoff you're ever going to see. I mean, just like all the way through this episode, you know what's going to happen, that she's not going to win the ribbon, so it's like, okay, just cross that point off the list. We've as good as already covered it, but I mean, just, yeah, everything through this episode, what the friends have a big surprise party plan that they don't get to throw. They are scared to death that something's happened to her. They go searching, and they visit where the rodeo happened. They follow a lead all the way to another town. They find Applejack there, but I mean, she's just really short with them and walling herself every time they try to ask her something about what happened at the rodeo. And I mean, they go through all these scenarios. They take the same job she's taking, and try to sort of worm their way into conversations about it. And I mean, she's just like it seems like she's not always trying to be too short, because you can tell she's not mad at them, but she's hiding something. And I mean, so it's like, okay, she didn't just not win. Something really is wrong here, apparently. I mean, this is not just an average case of shame. And I mean, it's like she flees town when they finally get her to promise that she'll come clean. She agrees, and then flees town in a carriage in an attempt to get away from them. And you get a whole chase scene, and just like Applejack. To the thing with Pinkie Pie, she even breaks a Pinkie promise, setting Pinkie Pie on full force anger, which I guess in Pinkie Pie's mind, you can't break a Pinkie promise. It's just not allowed. So okay, but yeah, she goes through this huge chase scene, and a train darts in front of a train to lose them. And I mean, and when they fly over it, they catch up, they corner her. She still tries to run for it, and Rainbow Dash tackles her. They spill all the ribbons to the ground, and I mean, it's like, okay, the cat's out of the bag, and then Applejack just doubles over. She's like, okay, well, now you know. And they just, I mean, yeah, I didn't win the blue ribbons. I didn't win the prize money, and I'm just sitting there like, and it's so obvious. We already knew that's what happened, and I mean that's such a that's a very basic problem. I mean, that's something everybody goes through, but I mean, it's just, yeah, we've waited the whole episode to get to this point, and I mean, it's like Applejack has been walling herself so much. She's been like so ashamed, so standoffish about it. It's just like, this is, yeah, bar none. So I mean, it's like we're gonna have to get into what makes her tick here, because I mean, clearly this is something she doesn't compromise on. This is shameful to her or whatever, but no, that she just didn't win. That we don't get to hear a thing about what happened. We don't know if she choked or if it was with some up-and-coming talent just completely one-upped her, or I mean, if she thought she could do better, or if she was ashamed she couldn't do better, or no, she just feels like she let them down, and I mean, and apparently, not in a way that's out of the ordinary, because they just have to say, they tell her basically, you're always number one in our books, and then, well, what about the prize money? What should I say? We can fix the roof, but we can't fix the hole in our hearts if you don't come home. And I mean, that's like, and then, Rainbow Dash has moved to tears by that one, so that's supposed to be the deal breaker. So yeah, one line of, I guess, sappiness from Fluttershy, and that, well, I mean, it was an earnest sort of a statement, but no, one bit of sentiment, and the deal's sealed, she's coming back. I mean, it didn't even take that much convincing. This was not just an anticlimax, this was like, this just dropped the whole thing a level. I mean, you come to realize here how much just like 30 seconds can hurt the whole thing, because I mean, like I said, there's so much build up here, and it's it's good build up. You enjoy watching this episode almost all the way through. Like, I mean, they really, I mean, have fun with it here. I mean, they don't just keep it bogged down like Applejack getting short with them. They think of scenarios that the five friends have to jump through to go through it. Like when they first get a job at the cherry thing, Applejack is turning the wheel that makes a conveyor belt of cherries come out, and the rest of them are supposed to sort the red ones and the yellow ones. So basically, what they do is they use that to sort of do a send up of the a reference, a tribute, whatever, to the chocolate skag from I Love Lucy, where they're going by too fast because the friends all start surrounding Applejack, but Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie remember that they're supposed to be sorting cherries, so they're doing the chocolate skag essentially for like trying to think of ways not to let the cherries get by them, until Pinkie Pie's running to the front of the conveyor belt and letting them all like be shoved into her mouth and like till her cheeks are blowing up. I mean, yeah, that was a lot of fun, and that scene just like keeps building too until like explosion. Applejack realizes she's full on running on the wheel, getting it to go so fast that she stops, and the cherries fly everywhere. And I mean, yeah, that's the scene they go full speed ahead on. How they finally get her to crack. They set Pinkie Pie loose on her to just rant about nothing, essentially. What was it? Yeah, well, she starts out with something about cherries, how she's made a pastry called a cherry chenga, but maybe she should call it a chimichurri. Which one would? Then she doesn't know which one would sound funnier, and then the list of words that sound funny to her until, Applejack's just getting very so annoyed she can't take it anymore. And I mean, I don't know if we've seen something quite like that before, but even if we have, that's the show sort of doing it its own way. And I mean, just interplay between Pinkie Pie and Applejack. It's fun in its own way. And I mean, like I said, just lots of headbutting in this, lots of full force against each other, and the chase scene too, which I don't know how. They chase Applejack. She gets away in a horse-drawn carriage. They don't think they're going to catch her until they find another carriage to strap themselves into. So somehow weighing two of them down with a carriage full of the rest of them is going to make them run faster. But but no, it's just an excuse for a carriage chase. But they have a carriage chase. Pinkie Pie jumps back and forth between carriages and tries to get Applejack to apologize for breaking her promise, and then this time to jump back and knocks Rarity out of the carriage. And Rainbow Dash, it's even a little bit campy, Rainbow Dash, we've got to turn around. No, they knew what they were getting into. There's no turning back now. There's no time. And you know, and I mean, well, you get it. They went, it's just like so much build up there, and it's fun to watch, but it all comes with the notion of being invested in how it's going to turn out. That's what build up revolves around, the payoff. And this episode is all build up. So I mean, like everything is invested in these last 2 minutes, I guess, if even. And like, what do? It's what we already knew was going to happen, and it's not even like it takes that much to make it right. They just have to reassure Applejack that they don't care. They just have to tell her that they don't care and they want her back. So I mean, I guess it's still a decent episode. It's just like I said, most of it is fun watching, but it's just such a letdown at the end. It really is. I mean, it's still a decent episode, but I mean, I don't know. I guess actually this says something about Applejack, because I mean, it's like I think I said, I don't know if I said, I was thinking it back in season 1 anyway, that she actually seemed like kind of a favorite of the writers. Like she was the first one Twilight meets, the one who's, I guess, the most excited to befriend her. Well, it seemed like it. Well, she was the most enthusiastic in a lot of ways, we'll say. And I mean, I don't know. They seem that just because she probably has one of the more memorable designs, she has her country accent and country hat and everything. So, I mean, if you knew nothing about these characters other than their looks and how they talk, she would be the most memorable one. And I mean, so they seemed like they were having a lot of fun getting into her there, but the last several times we've seen her, it's like that's sort of slowed down a bit. Like all they want to get into is either how like she's stubborn, she doesn't bend on things, she's proud, that sort of stuff, or how she only is used to country life, or how she doesn't fit in with high society. Like it seems like that's just been it with her. And I mean, I think that what's stopping them, I mean, it seems like they want Applejack to be sort of the most mature of the bunch, the most responsible. So I mean, we don't really get a lot, I guess, of what makes her tick. Like they want us to think that there's not a problem with Applejack so much. She's still just fine. It's just there's just something she's in conflict with that is only pertains to this one episode. And I mean, and especially with this episode kind of highlights even that no, there's more to get into here. Like why is she so stubborn? Why are things so? Why is she so reluctant to ask for help? I mean, we could get a little bit of insight into that here, and I mean, they just don't bother. I mean, it's like that's just Applejack. Like she just needed to know that it's still okay that she didn't come in second. I mean, you kind of know. I mean, you know they're going to say that. I mean, everybody's, I think, been through that scenario where someone has said that to them, like, you're still number one in our book, but I mean, that doesn't really, I mean, you still, I'm sure, kind of feel down about it. So, I mean, let's, I don't know, get more into Apple. I mean, let's sort of evolve her a little bit. I mean, just off the top of my head, what if, I mean, I don't know, she said specifically why she felt so let down, whether it was because the competition just honestly didn't go as planned, like she honestly didn't expect to be beaten by somebody else like she was, or because just like what goes on in the mind of Applejack, why she feels so responsible for this. So yeah, what if she still hadn't been willing to come back, and then they had to find something on top of it, like I don't know, somebody had pulled out a minute, like what if they've done a callback to like when she saved Twilight from going over the cliff, and maybe tied that in like what Twilight was like, yeah, Twilight, like you told me to let go, you told me it would be fine because you knew my friends would catch me, and I mean I was scared but you were right, so now let go of this and your friends will catch you and it will be alright, you know, we still got your back, or something like that. I don't know, I just, even off the top of my head, even that, whatever I just said, I think I'd probably still like to see it more than what we actually got. Just like, give me something here. This is just so generic. And I mean, and they didn't even have to make it that convincing. They just had to make it, I mean, you get like one line that's a little bit heartfelt, and that is all it took. I just, okay, so you can tell I'm wrapped around this one plot point a lot, because that, and I justifiably so in my opinion, because that's what the whole episode hinged on, but okay. Even so, that is not enough to say that this episode wasn't mostly fun to watch all the way through, and a good concept. Like, I mean, even an underdeveloped one, very underdeveloped one, but still a good concept, letting Applejack know that she doesn't have to carry it all on her shoulders. So, I mean, there were a couple of things that didn't make sense, though, like the carriage thing, and then, also why it takes Rarity and Pinkie Pie longer to get home when they were knocked off the carriage closer to the town, because, they're all running farther away from it, from the point they started from, and then Rarity and Pinkie Pie get knocked out along the way, but somehow the others get home way before them. Like, they're still making their way home at the end of the episode on a handcar on the railroad tracks, which, well, you do get a kind of funny gag there about how Pinkie Pie is still giving her a list of funny words to Rarity now, who has to put up with it all the way home, so it was kind of funny, but, okay, I guess. Other than that, actually, there were a couple of points I wanted to talk about other than that, just side points. One, unfortunately, is that this is the first time in this show, or probably any show in this mold, that it has a bathroom gag. And not like in one passing line either. Like, they make a point out of the trip to the town that Applejack is in, that they linger for a good 30 seconds, minute on that Pinkie Pie has to use the bathroom, and that she's, talking over, and then that's actually how they find Applejack, that she runs up to the stall that Applejack is in, and is like pounding on the door, I gotta go, and then when she sees it's Applejack, she forgets for a second and starts cheering, and then remembers halfway through the celebration that she's the one who found Applejack, and starts back in. But I mean, it was not that it wasn't funny, but you kind of realize how surreal this gets sometimes, like how it really does want to break the mold of My Little Pony, which, wondering how many times we're going to get something like that, but, okay, so just thought I'd point that out, but, also, though, I did get a couple of comments and stuff that, wanted me to notice Derpy, the, character who I guess is, some kind of fan favorite. Ed pointed out, like, apparently, she's in the background a lot, and I guess, she's the only one who has, this look with the eyes that, like, one up with the wall eyes, like, so, obviously I can't do wall eyes, but, and this, though, is where we actually meet her, when she's, trying to help fix up the broken town hall with Rainbow Dash, and she just, like, keeps messing everything up. She's just, like, really good-natured and stuff, but, she, talks like she's a little bit oblivious, and, I just don't know what went wrong. But, and apparently, though, that this is what I got requests to talk about. She's, this episode actually stirred up some controversy, because parents, I guess, objected to portraying mentally challenged people like that, or characters like that. They thought it was a negative portrayal of people with disabilities, and one little problem there, she doesn't have a disability. This is so obviously just a goofy sort of character who's just messes things up, but is lovable anyway, or whatever. Does SpongeBob get backlash to portraying mentally challenged people that way? I know Derpy is still a lot less of a klutz than Patrick is, or a lot less of a screw up than Patrick Star is. So I don't see it. I think it's completely ridiculous that this character gets a backlash for being mentally challenged. So, okay, I'm on your side there, bronies, once again. But, alright, so, Other than that, though, just it's a decent episode. And then also, though, I guess I should say I did think Derpy's moment was funny. So I mean, I guess however she shows up again, I mean, it seems like she's a lot of fun. So I guess you picked a good gag there, but or a good gag character there, I should say. But anyway, though, next episode, and I am gonna remember the title, is the Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 or something thousand, better be 6 because I tried to make sure I tried to remember that. But anyway, though, so okay, we'll see how that works out, and I'll see you there.